American Bad. This is our first episode here. I'm super excited. This is a new project that we're starting, Christian and me. And yeah, welcome everyone. And Christian, thank you so much for being here with me. Crazy story. We're both from Germany, a little bit different background. And we met here in Florida, two Germans from Frankfurt. I mean, I'm not really from Frankfurt, but I lived there for 5 years. I think you're from Frankfurt. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm close
let's
from Frankfurt.
No, I'm from Bavaria, but I haven't lived there for like over 10 years. But I really enjoyed Frankfurt. Unfortunately, it's not as nice how it was, let's say it like that. And
Yeah,
yeah, this podcast is, yeah, what do you think is this podcast about? Like, what's our plan?
I would say that podcast is about two Germans seeing the way in America, seeing the American dream, and start over. As you said, we met here in the US, and yeah, we figured out that we do a little project into this podcast. So yeah, I think it's the idea behind America, and it's transforming something like the idea into a podcast and trying to bring it out to everyone who's interested into to success or business or entrepreneurship, or even how to be a good husband here in America. I think that's what we want to try to send out to the world.
Yeah. And I think also why we want to do that with two immigrants. And I think, especially in Germany, also in America, like, there's like this perception like the US, it's like it's over basically, right? Like everything is bad. But if you come here from an outsider perspective, like we moved to the US, we made the decision. I have a little bit different background. My wife is American. I think your wife is German, but you're like an
Yeah,
entrepreneur, like a very successful entrepreneur. I hope I will get there one point. Maybe this podcast will help. We'll see. But nevertheless, we're like, I would say successful in different ways, how maybe it would not have been possible in Germany. Let's say it like that. What do you think?
you're absolutely right. If I see myself back in Germany and how I choose America is, I mean, I was always related to America. My grandfather, he was in the U.S. military. I was close to a PX commissary, so the American mindset was always there. But I started my entrepreneurship in Germany. So if I look back to the time in Germany, I felt mm, the government hold me back. It wasn't possible to grow my business to a certain point, especially by yourself. And I did that everything with my wife. So she's not here, but everything I did is and will be with my wife. And if I compare it to where I'm right now, where I started, and how Germany held me back or Europe, that's a whole different story. That's really a different story. That's why I'm here.
And you said something very interesting. You said like you grew up with the mindset. Like, so I
Yes.
grew up with a very German mindset, very German family. Like, what do we say? Like, so for me, like, I grew up with like, don't take any risk. Don't be an entrepreneur. Like, do an apprenticeship first before you want to study. Like, you need
Yeah.
something secure. So for me, that was like a big change coming here and like a development, like changing my mindset, taking risk. Like, first my YouTube channel, now this podcast, and hopefully many, many other projects. And how is it with you? Like, you grew up like with like this entrepreneurial mindset, taking risk, and how is it? How did you experience German society? And you mentioned the government, but what do you say with German society? Is it like what's the difference for you here? What would you say?
It's way different. Grew up in Germany, starting my business in Germany. It's always be, oh, you are sure you want to do this? I better be in a normal professional business branch. And I was like, no, I need to figure out what I need to do with my life. So I had both sides. So my grandfather always was pushing and say, hey, you if you don't risk something, you don't win something. And my German family side, they was, "Oh, no, better work for the government. There you're secure and you have your dream. You could live forever and die with your job in the government." That's how I felt it. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, I had both sides. I like the American way more, especially if you challenge yourself. You want to be an entrepreneur or even self-employed. There's a different. Maybe we go and continue on that part later, but even as a self-employed person, you need to take risk. And it's easier if your family is from the US because everything is risk. If you don't get further, if you want to reach something, you need to go and dive into it. If I talk to my wife with that and say, hey, we have a new project, let's do that, she's typical German. She's like, I mean, that changed the last 2.5 years, but before was like, "Oh, you sure?" And let's do a concept and a proof of concept, and everything was written down. I was like, "Hell no, let's start. Let's see where we end. If we start, we know. If we start to writing concepts, we're losing time. That's all, time and money."
Yeah. No, that's like very like that's like fascinating that you have both sides. For me, I remember my mother actually, her dream was for me to become a teacher. Like she is
Yeah,
like, you should really become a teacher. And in Germany, you're employed by the state. But
yeah,
I think what people forget, like the safe path is not as safe as you think it is. Like if you
you're
look
right.
now at the what is going on in Germany, right? German economy is really like on a downward path. I mean, it's still okay if you're employed by the government, but if there's no money, so I feel like there's also risk involved that people don't like to see.
Yeah, I mean, we need to explain that, especially for the Americans, if you be employed by the government, they cannot cancel or terminate your contract by
Yeah,
law. You need to do something really stupid or, I don't know, steal the golden spoon. And that's the point where they can, throw you out or terminate your contract. But otherwise, you will be with the government till you're done. So that's a really, really secure position. And you get extra time. So usually an government worker works like 42 hours and they saving times for retirement. They could go into retirement a little bit earlier. They have a different insurance system. They do not use the public one. So there's a lot of benefits with it. And I totally understand if especially your mother said, hey, go be a teacher and work
to
for the
be
government.
honest with you, like for me, it was always a nightmare. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I'm like having this job, like I can never move anywhere. Like even if the money is good for German standards, it's quite decent. For me, it was always a nightmare. I never wanted that. Like, yeah. And that's why I think like I never really felt like I really fit into Germany, even though like I mean I am German, right? Like even though I feel more and more American the longer I live here, to be honest. And I love this country and I hope that someday I can become like an American citizen, but I'm still German. So I still have a lot of like similar to your wife. Ah, this is really a good idea. Like when I started YouTube, I was like, ah, what if people think it's stupid? But then like people really supported me, right? Like
Yeah.
now now I'm here like in my channel 25,000 subscribers and yeah, so I learned a lot like through this journey and like another point you mentioned is the government, right? Like the government is like very different incentives. Like here starting an LLC is $1. Like in Germany to start like the equivalent of an LLC, a GmbH, I think you need 25,000, right?
Yes.
And $25,000 is
But
like a lot of money.
there's more coming up because you open it with 25,000, but then it's the notary, you lawyer, maybe you need to have some fancy, I don't know, operation agreements, and then it's like 30 to 35,000. So
That's
it's not easy.
crazy.
It's not
That's
easy.
yeah, especially if you like say you make like 2,000, $3,000 a month, like to have that much money on the side. And that also what like hold me back to be honest, because like you said, and then there's like I forgot the English word for that, but you need to have like basically report to the state like every year, right? The Bilanz. What is Bilanz in English? I forgot.
Yeah, you P&A, so like you need to prove what's your income and what is your you purchase, and they did check it out. That's like P&L. It's a P&L.
P&L, yeah, but I think
Yeah,
it's more complicated, right?
it
Because it's
is. It
not
is.
like a P&L here I can do myself. In Germany, I need basically like a CPA or like a lawyer to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong.
If you're looking on to the CPA part or even the GmbH, which is the German LLC, it would be more like you closing and corporate. Like there's much going on and many of compliance you need to figure out, and you need to publish everything. So like here in especially in Florida, I don't need to publish my income. I don't, it's everything is written down, sent to the CPA, RS happy, I pay my tax, that's it. In Germany, you need to publish everything, so everyone knows your what you say, P&L, Bilanz. They see everything, and they could, they could buy it. They could see how you're doing. So your competitors, it's a little bit weird.
It's a little bit weird. Yeah. Yeah. That's really interesting. But I mean, you're like, I get a feeling you were already very successful in Germany, right? Like, what made
Yes.
you expand to the US? Like, why didn't you just say, like, okay, like, I'm here, I'm in Germany, I'm good? Like,
Uh,
what was your reasoning behind that?
that's a good question. It's you saw the company grow in Germany, and everything went okay,
Maybe
but
for the listeners, what kind of company do you have? Which industry is it?
it's not one company. So it's
Okay, well,
my wife and I, we do have like a few companies. The main company is cybersecurity, and now with AI, and now everybody talks about AI.
I think you're probably the only German cybersecurity company. Like, I don't know, like there might be some other ones, but like I never heard or think of any German cybersecurity company. It's like crazy.
Yeah, I think that's because typical German. It's cybersecurity is the English word, and they say no, IT Sicherheit, which means cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but s- AI was something, as a specialist, I saw it coming up the last 8 years.
8 years
So
already. Wow, okay.
yeah, I saw like the last 8 years was like, the market is shifting. And I saw how, especially Europe said, hey, we need to compliance that and that. And everything needs to written down, and you need to do training, but nobody knows about what. So they just pointed like, hey, you need to do training in cybersecurity, and we built an AI act, and you need to do training in this, and a GDPR, which is a data protection part. So I felt the whole world started growing, 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 and you as a European or a German stand there and look like, uh, I mean, Elon Musk is someone who's getting super rich with smart ideas, and you looked at him and said, hey, even if I want it, I can't do it because it's
Mhm.
too much I need to spend here in Europe to get my compliance. And then, even then, the EU, the European Union, they would say, nah, it's not allowed. You can go further, and that's why I choose here the US, and we also have a location in Singapore.
Mhm.
And both of those locations, they're growing, growing, growing. And my US one, my German one, it's stuck a little bit. It's
Okay.
stuck, and it's I mean, we met 1 year ago, and I see how you grow yourself as a person and how you talk, and you get this entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
So I see a shifting in your goals too, and how you talk, and how you see future projects. You don't stand there as a German and say, "Hey, that's scary. I don't do it." You try to be more, and that's something I really like. You be more the American way. There's more the lion part in it, the
Yeah.
eagle part. Hey, I work to get my freedom, and it's the way you need money to be free. That's something,
Yeah,
that's our
that's
world.
how it is. And yeah, thank you very much, first of all. And I think I had it always in me somehow, but it was like under so many layers, like, so it's like I need to rip off the different layers. And so like it's getting more and more. And yeah, like I totally agree with you. And like that's really interesting that you moved to the US because you basically saw an opportunity. And I think that's how it is. And a lot of people think like in the US, I mean, it might have been easier 20, 30 years ago. I don't know. But nowadays you have AI, you have YouTube, you can listen to Elon Musk in a podcast and learn actually from him. Like
Yeah.
20, 30 years ago, that did not exist. Like I met you through the internet. So even though there's like a lot of change, a lot of complexity, I think like nowadays it's also kind of easier. It's harder and easier at the same time, if it makes sense, I feel like.
No, you're right. You're right. And as I mean, you came because you married an American.
Yeah.
So and we came because of the business, and so both of our parts equal to that what we do. I mean, you love your wife and you came here because you love your wife. I love my wife
Yeah.
too. Don't get
Yeah.
that wrong. But I also love my business and I want to keep my business going. And I saw like which is the best country and not even the country, where is the best employee I could get for my money? And here for the Americans, if you if you hire someone in Germany, you spend a lot of money and it's not even going to the employee. And if I want to get more benefits for my employee, I need to spend more. And 50% is going up to the government. And here it's pretty easy. I hire someone, and if he's doing he or she doing a good job, give some benefits, and it's a few bucks going in opinion of a German, a few bucks going to IRS. So I'm totally fine with that. If you compare it to Germany, that's a different story.
Yeah, and I think I have never seen an entrepreneur who moved from the US to Germany. I mean, of course, there's like big tech companies that want to expand, get the German market because a big German market, but somebody like I want to create a business. I moved to Germany. I don't think that ever happened. Like the other way around, it happens a lot. And I think I just
Yes.
saw, I think you sent it to me actually. It was like the number of people who are leaving Germany is like the highest ever. And I think that also speaks a lot, like what's going on there.
Yeah, the number is increasing really badly. That's not good for Germany, but I would see an opportunity for the US market. And what I see is that everyone who's trying to settle something in Germany, they fight with each other. Here in the US, everybody knows, hey, you get my service, you get money. In Germany, I always discuss about invoices. Like, so hey, you delivered the service and thank you, but why are you charging for that? And I mean, you laugh, and I think you know what I mean. But that's you can I can tell you how often I was on the phone with a CEO and talk about $35, and the invoice was like 3,000 something. Why we talk about 35? The call is even more expensive than $35, you know?
$35 and he was
Yeah.
like complaining to you. That's a real story or you're just making it up? Like,
No, that's a real one. It
wow.
happened, last week, so it's a real story, yeah.
Like that's insane. Like here, $35. Like, I mean, of course, people still negotiate, but usually, if you agree on something, like after you negotiate, it's done, right? Unless like
Right.
you're not happy with the service or something, then maybe you might renegotiate.
Yeah, and it's easy to get your down payment. Yeah, you know, you agree to a certain service and you go with a down payment, or you have the credit card information, or it's a monthly subscription. It's pretty easy. In Germany, it's oh no, we need to transfer it with it's something like an ACH. They call it Überweisung, and you wait sometimes
No
60 to 90
wire
days.
transfer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a wire. Yeah,
60 to 90 days. Okay, well, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a pain.
So what would you say if like somebody comes to you and say like, "Hey, I want to start a business in Germany or in the US?" Like, what would you say? What do you say?
US right away.
Yeah,
Right away, US. I would give him money and say, "Hey, start in the US, and I maybe be a shareholder or something. Go to the US."
yeah. I also feel like people are way more supportive here. Like I know so many people who like want to start a business or like I meet random people and if I have a business idea, I tell them what I do and they are really supportive. While in Germany, like everybody's always like, "You're stupid. You're an idiot.
Yeah,
Like, don't do it."
yeah. We had a big startup scene in Berlin, but you know, it's it was a good scene, and you had some good sparring partners, but most of them went back to a job position or to
Yeah.
employee. It's I don't know. It's
Yeah, it's
your
just a different environment at all. And like, yeah, I think that's something what we really want to address in this podcast. I mean, you're a successful entrepreneur. I'm hopefully getting there at some point to your level. And I think that's like the different topics we want to talk about. I mean, you have like you just your example there with the guy like discussing about $35, and I think we can talk about a lot of things here.
oh
And
yeah.
yeah, also for all the listeners, please put in the comments what you want us to talk about. Anything to add from your side?
Yeah, I would say, hey, you are successful too. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
But yeah, leave some comments there what you want to know, or even if you have some interesting information about Germany you want to share with us and we could see maybe compare to the US level. Yeah, that's all I could say right now.
Okay, yeah, I think that's was a wrap for the first episode ever of The American Bad. Stay tuned for the next episode and thanks for watching.